Welcome back, shop rats. Today here in the shop, we're back on the 26 Oakland, taking care of a pile of endless details that we need to do in order to move forward on putting this car back on the road. Dad's on his way here, and we're going to get after this thing. If you haven't seen the whole series on this car, be sure to check that out under the playlists. This car is running and driving again after 75 years of being parked. Let's watch the show intro. I'll see you in 30 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Car's Shop.
Dad and I certainly have had a lot of fun sharing his memories and the history of this car with you, and there's more things we're continuing to learn and remember that we will share as we go forward. But right now, we've got a bunch of little stuff to take care of, like ignition system and finishing mounting the radiator and the cross brace, the cross brace that goes across between the two front fenders and the rear floor pan, and we've got a spare tire to mount. We've got a tool to make to remove the rear wheel. I don't know what all we're going to get done today, but there's still a ton to do, and that's not even the half of it. We've got glass to replace in this car because none of this is safety glass and it needs to be replaced for safety's sake. Well, there's just a lot to do, so there's a whole bunch more coming on this car, but as always, you're just going to share a day here in the shop with us as we work and chip away on this project, and we have some fun together. So come on in. Let's have fun. All right, so we're recentering the pan. It wasn't installed properly in the car, so Dad found a better position for it. It centers right in. I'm going to go ahead and screw it in rather than nail it in. Screws right there. Didn't have a small enough drill bit, so we're going to try to use a drywall screw just as a pilot and then see how that works. Works. Yeah. Works good. I think that's going into hardwood, so. We also did a little modification to the pan so it falls in and out easier. Just a little hammer and dolly work, and it goes in and out easy now. So. This would be similar to what I think the color of the car was. You can see that color right here. That's why I think it was green.
This thing cleans up amazingly well.
Yes, it does.
I mean, given the age,
96-year-old upholstery.
yeah, and the fact that it had 20 years of use.
20 years of use and 75 years of garbage stored on it.
Yeah.
Let's get a couple little stringies. Let's get some scissors and just trim those off. And,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to pull them.
no, we'll just trim them off so they don't run, and I think we'll be good.
Yeah, might even want to leave it just a little bit of one there.
Oh. The camera's right in the way. Let me move the camera just a second.
Oh, there's a metal tab back here.
Yep, it goes right here.
It drops into that
Yep.
bracket.
Don't lean on anything. Ouch, it's hard on the knees.
Yes.
I feel like the bottom is in too far.
Yeah, you might have to line up the top and then push the bottom in.
Yeah. Problem is, when you do that, I'm questioning whether this was actually hooked in there. I'm not so sure that it was.
Huh.
That hook. Oh, I bet you. There we go. Okay, it's in. And there was screws. There's supposed to be screws down there.
Oh.
Probably wasn't, but they're supposed to be. I don't remember taking any out.
It seems like the seat part would hold that in.
Yeah, well, there we go. Let's see, it didn't hook on the top.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, I got a better idea how it goes, so let's try again. The problem with a car this old is you don't dare lean on anything. Even the upholstery is kind of crunching when I gotta sit. There, make it easier, I think.
The bracket is right up there.
Yeah.
Under the middle of the center of the window, right?
Yeah. It's right there. It won't catch.
Can you try pulling the bottom out, tip the top back?
The bottom is out, and there we go. I got it. Okay, you got it.
Okay.
I felt back in there with my finger.
Yeah.
And I think we're down all the way here, so let's go ahead and run a couple of screws in there like it's supposed to be.
Okay.
I'm 90% sure there weren't any.
The screws are down here.
Yes.
Okay.
There's just two.
There's a screw hole right there.
Yep.
Yep. And another one on the other side, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Yep, that's got it. Yep, very nicely. Oh, there's finger holes there. I didn't notice that before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, to pull it out?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good. I've done some exploring up under this cover, and I can't feel anything wrong with the upholstery, so we're going to go ahead and tear this off. This thing is terribly filthy, So we're going to tear it off and see what the seat looks like underneath. If the seat is in good shape, we'll probably leave it off, and then maybe we'll put something on the seats when we use the car just to protect the seat. But I think as dirty as this thing is, it's probably best to get it off of there. So go ahead, Deb, and pull some tacks. And definitely the velour is worn on the sides here, but that's not visible anyway. Should just be one tack right there, I think. Somewhere there. Maybe we need to tear that one. Yeah, let's just tear it off of there. And just tear it up a little bit. Yeah, let's see what we got.
Unveiling.
Still caught on that something down there.
Probably more down here.
Just maybe tear it again. You want those scissors to cut it, or? Nope. Okay, it's got one little tear in it right here. The seat spring is coming through. And maybe that's why he did it. There's a little right there.
Oh yeah, okay.
I can live with that. But that's probably what was going on. I'll bring you around here. It's probably the front of the seat was getting worn. So we may want to put a cover over it of some kind. It's torn a little in here too.
Oh yeah.
But hey, you know, for the age of it, it's in beautiful condition. So I think for practical use, we'll lay something on the seat. But just for sitting around, we'll keep it off so the mice don't get in and cause problems. It's always a concern. So there's the front of the seat. It's in amazingly good shape. Springs are wearing through it a little bit here. Spring is definitely worn through here. In fact, somebody has just kind of sewed it a little bit with a piece of wire. But I'm good with that. And like I said, when people ride in it, we'll have something to cover it with so it doesn't get torn and worn more. But I think overall, we'll just leave it exposed. Not bad for 96-year-old upholstery.
Yes.
There we go. Man, there's a lot of room back here.
Yeah.
All these cars are like that, but we still got all kinds of fuzzies on the wall. We'll deal with that later. But
Yeah. Be a little cozy for 3 people? Or?
yeah, three adults in the 1930s might not be so bad, but 3 of me would be pretty crowded.
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody was 6'3.5" and 240 pounds.
No, not the rules in the eights.
All right. Looks outstanding. Very lucky that didn't get destroyed with all the garbage that was sitting on those seats. It just totally makes sense to me that the green was the color of the car as I saw this green seat and then saw the green color that's showing through the gray on the car. It's the same color. It's that same olive green. So it's gotta be the color. while we were in the mode, we decided to go ahead and clean all of this garbage out from under the front seat so that we can put in the car what needs to be in the car for using the car. So we were discussing that we'll probably pick up a hobo freight toolkit. Maybe put it under this seat, maybe we'll put it under the back seat, don't know, but basic tools, sockets and screwdrivers and a hammer and things like that you would need to keep this car moving down the road. And but there's plenty of room under the back seat for something like that too. But the tire spreader and any specialty tools that are for this car, like that hubcap tool there, we'll make sure is in this car. We also, of course, probably should have a jack in the car. Oh, that's what that tool was for, Dad. It's for taking the rims off of the wheels.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's what that was for. So.
That's this one.
Yep, that is for taking those rims off of the wheels.
Yeah.
And that little screwdriver end would be for popping the wedge out of the rim.
Prying up. Oh, the wedge. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
Yep, exactly. Okay.
Found some essentials here. Tinker Toys.
Wow, those are probably yours.
Probably. Yeah.
We were noticing some look like spit up formula on the back seat. We figured he was the culprit for that too.
Well, I was missing a couple of pieces from my set at home. So.
We'll take them home.
Yeah.
Joanne will be happy. We have 75 years of accumulated squirrel feed in there also.
Yes.
And mouse. Although mice wouldn't have been as big a deal up there as squirrels. Is that a razor blade you found?
Part of one.
Oh, okay, but on the wood right there.
Yeah, and there's another one there.
That's fun. I'm glad you're wearing gloves.
Me too.
Another one.
3.
Now I know where I get it from. I'm always leaving the razor blades laying around the shop.
Valve
Oh, valve cores?
insides.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, valve cores. Okay.
Yeah. Back in the day, those would have been essential. Because you would have had a hand pump under your seat to pump your tires back up. You would have had a patch kit in there for patching your inner tubes.
Oh, another Tinker Toy.
Let's see. A roll of 75-year-old electrical tape. Is it friction tape or electrical tape?
I can't tell. I don't know. I'm going to guess it's electrical because friction had more of a texture to it, as I recall.
Antiques.
a set of original tools again. Yeah.
I do have to adjust the valve. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Process cheese?
Cheese paddle?
Yeah. I think it's, I don't know, it might be off of a cheese box.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, processed cheese like Velveeta would come in a wooden box. I
would
remember
think
that
so.
from when I was a kid.
Yeah, and somebody cut a strip off of
Yep.
it to use for something.
Yeah. Yeah, then they switched to cardboard boxes. Now I don't know what it comes in. Probably a bottle. Oh, I bet it comes in aluminum foil.
Yeah, in a cardboard
Oh,
box.
it still does in a box. Okay.
Velveeta, yeah.
Okay. I haven't bought any in 30 years, so.
I see them on the store. careful if you're going to pick all this hardware out of here. This is going to
Yeah.
take a little while, but I suppose, huh?
Better go through it, and
Yeah.
don't want to suck it all up in the vacuum anyway. So
Right.
I suppose we could look for a magnet, but I don't know if I have one strong enough to pull that out of there.
Supersized map tack.
Oh, it is. Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, so we sorted it all through, and now we just have the squirrel feed left. So we're gonna just dump. It's actually a piece of cardboard, I think. So we're just gonna pull it out of there and throw it away.
Oh, another razor blade.
Oh, I'm wondering if we had relatives that did coke. Must have cut a lot of lines of coke with the razor blades that are in here. There's a lot of them. Crazy.
Never saw one with rubber holes
me either.
before.
I was hoping we'd find like a layer of $100 bills.
Another pan.
Yeah.
Huh. So what can you get out if you take that out?
I wonder if that's where the emergency brake is, maybe. There's a drum brake on the drive shaft
Oh,
that connects to that hand lever right there.
okay.
Parking brake, whatever you want to call it. So. Yeah, just throw that whole cardboard out. We don't need it. And just a quick tip, when you find a bunch of razor blades like that, don't just throw them in the trash. Wrap them with a piece of tape so that if anybody digs in the trash, they don't get hurt.
Tape sticks to gloves.
If anybody's needing, if anybody collects antique razor blades,
Let's put one in.
yeah. The other thing that we found in the car is a big piece of plate glass. It's probably automotive glass if you look at how thick that is. I'm thinking that probably Grandpa was using it to mix body filler. But this is the reason right here that you don't use this glass in the car anymore. That's why all the glass has to be replaced, because this will kill you in an accident. So we're gonna store that in a strong metal container for all eternity.
Yeah.
We don't have any intention of keeping it.
If this stuff were broken and flying around,
Oh my goodness.
this is dangerous. I mean, this is heavy.
Yeah, oh, it'll kill you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I will not drive one of these cars, even though technically it's against the law to leave the original glass in. They're not going to pull you over for it, but I won't. I don't want to be in one of these cars. You know, especially the way people drive today. They hit you and one of those pieces of glass come through and you just got gutted. So
Yeah. Like shrapnel.
yes, well you can see this window's broken here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly it. It's not safety glass. So.
Yeah.
So while we were in here doing other things, I decided to dig into the interior light, and there was no bulb in it, so we put a bulb in it. So now we have an interior light that works. Switch is upside down in my way of thinking, so we may flip that over so that it isn't. Oh, that's where some of that contact issue is, the switch itself. We'll have to pull that switch out and clean it. See, I'm wiggling it and I'm not turning it on and off, so the contacts are dirty. Yeah, that's where some of the dimness is coming from. But it works. We have another box of stuff, so been waiting on this one for a while. My turn to open stuff, I guess. using a razor blade. None of the ones that we had. Just threw all those away. Very good. Huh, bright yellow, high performance. Looks like we have to crimp our ends on. But yes, we have our plug wires all cut to length. The ends are here to crimp on. Fortunately, we have a crimp tool, so we're good. See the coil wire, make sure that's long enough. Yep. It reaches from the distributor through the firewall into the car, and he's got the rest of them numbered, so very good. Okay, so we're going to put our coil back where it belongs. We've taken it out for testing. I've been dreading this, but I guess it's not as bad as what Dad had to deal with when he put the ignition switch in, so that's where it goes, right there. Somewhere there. Where is it? Way back there. Okay. Flying blind here. Can't see anything. Right there. Maybe what we'll do is cheat. Okay, there we go. Voila. One side. Somebody painted up under the dash with a white paintbrush. I wonder how many people knew that. Probably you did. Can't reach it. There we go. Okay, now we need the tools. Arrgh. As my friend Jack used to say when we worked at Street Scene, listen to all those noises you're making. Becky says I always sound like an old man. Someday she'll be right. Come on. Can't see the slot.
Is that a slotted head on that thing?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, joy.
Because it's 1926. Yeah, Phillips would make life way easier. Although I remember my dad in the 70s cursing Phillips head screws. I think what I've learned is he was cursing his screwdriver and he didn't know it. I got my wrench stuck on there. There we go. Okay, I think that's got it. If I could just get myself out of here. Okay. Oh, that wasn't so bad. So we've got a wire to put on the very top up here, and then the spark plug wire connects right there on that little stud. So we'll build that coil wire first and hook this back up, leave everything else the same, make sure it runs, and then we'll make our changes to the rest of the wires. I hope. Trying not to cut the wire itself. I don't have the proper wire stripper, but that works. Okay, that'll be the one that goes into the coil, or into the distributor. Well, it's being a little ornery, isn't it? Trying to be real careful not to get too far through and bite into the copper. There we go. I'd say that's our coil one right there because it's different than the rest of them. So let's see. Well, use your head. There we go. Hard on the hand. Got a nice crimp on the backside, and I like to flip it and do the same thing this way. Give it a little more squish. Okay, very good. So my old homemade high tension, high performance wires going to be set aside. And I think we'll go ahead and remove this coil as well, or we'll move it out of the way for now. So this has to go through here into the coil. And then of course here, that's a little bit on the loose side. Well, we'll deal with that. We'll hook that under the dash now, and then the other thing I want to do is this needs to get hooked onto the coil inside. I think we'll just separate that wire under the dash and use the original wire. We may have to put a grommet on it, but... Okay, so we had to pop the coil back down because we couldn't get screwdrivers at the top to mount these wires. And I couldn't remember which one was what anyway, so this worked out all right. Hopefully we got enough insertion there. You squeeze those till your knuckles pop, and that's tight enough. Okay, there's one. Now we got to find the wire or make a wire to go from the coil out to the distributor. So we're going to have to go do a little search and see if we had one for that. If I remember right, it was in pretty tough shape, so we might make a new one. This will be like this. So, except I'm on the wrong side of everything. A little Pollocker. If I had tried to hook that in there like that, it never would have happened. Come on. For crying out loud. There we go. All right. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we can put the curl back in. And of course, everything is wrong. I wish four things would fall in my way. All right. Ah, interesting. Our power wire is almost too short. Not quite. I just need to loosen it. That's not the one. Yeah, it's this one. Well, after much cussing and discussing, it's installed. It's hooked up to the ignition switch, and everything is good to go as far as I can tell. So we'll try to fire it up here in just a second and see if everything is working the way that it should with the factory original coil, the new wire that we made, as well as the, well, yeah. So let's see what happens. Well, moment of truth. Let's see if it starts on the original coil. It's got one plug wire off.
Oh, okay.
Dad's going to open up the fittings a little more. So the original coil worked, but it was breaking down. Rather than mess with it, we're just going to go ahead and mount the brand new coil that we have been using on the car. We know it works. There's no point in reinventing the wheel. A coil is a coil is a coil. We could try to find an original one and get this one rebuilt, or you know what, we can do that later if we want. But just simply using what works is going to be the best solution. But the coil will be mounted inside the car rather than outside where we had it, so we'll have it more properly mounted. So, but the studs on the coil are a little bigger, so Dad's going to open those holes up just a bit more on those connectors that we mounted, and we should be good to go. Okay, so we're going to mount this coil in here. It's the one we were using. And I did it again. Oh, I hate that. I got it on the wrong side of that stupid speedometer cable. I like doing things 4 times. It's always fun to do things 4 times. There we go. And we need to go up over that. Okay, there we go. We're going to have to really take it easy because with this high performance coil, it's going to be burning tires off all the time. So, okay, and then we'll just mount this coil right up there like that with some zip ties, and it should be good to go. So we've got to change the end on the coil wire, but that's going to work well. It'll do the job. That's all that matters. So we took a set of modern plug wires, took the end off that will go into that coil properly, and I'm just crimping it onto this wire the way it's supposed to be done, and we should be in good shape. This is not exactly a plug wire crimper, but it's working. It keeps pushing me open when I don't want to be pushed open. All right, let's go this way. There we go. They're just a little bit, it's like we've used a used set or something. I used to have the tool for doing this, but I don't anymore. I don't know what happened to it. Probably lent it to somebody. That's really crimped. Not pretty, but crimped. Okay, that should work. This isn't actually a coil wire boot, but it should work for that, so. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit. I'll have to get a coil wire boot for it. This one's too small, but main thing is it snaps down in there nice, so that works for now. Okay, and we'll get a zip tie and should be good to go, but I want to try to start it first. So. wrench under the gas pedal. So we put Dad to work again, doing all the work, soldering the wires up. Was that solder too heavy, or?
I think.
Okay. We don't have anything in between, so maybe you'll need to use that angel hair.
Yeah. That'll work.
Worked on the first one.
Yep.
You just have to allow yourself about 1.5 feet because it goes so fast.
It's already got flux on it, so it should be okay. That's enough or not.
Oh yeah, that's about all right.
Okay.
We'll just take the motor tool and buzz off the excess. Okay, well, lather, rinse, and repeat.
Yep.
Looks real good. So we got 2 down,
2.
4 to go. Okay. One at a time. Don't make stuff to last, do they? Probably the original wires on that crazy thing. No reason they should fail, really, other than dry rot like they did, because they're solid core wires. I'm going to wait to put the new brass caps on these plugs until we put the new plugs in. So. Telling you, she's a race car now. it better start after all this. Okay, here we go. Well, as they say, the devil is in the details. We got the coil taken care of. The old coil may not be defective, but Dad and I agreed that we're just going to leave the new coil in there. It's been running great with that. We got the new wires on. We do have an issue that it seems to run good and then doesn't. The issue's in the distributor, and I think this is the issue that goes back to when it wouldn't start when we were trying to start it. I think I'm guessing there's an insulator in that distributor that's giving issues. So I'm going to tear into that probably for its own session. We'll go ahead and put the points, the new condenser and all that in while we're doing that and just solve it, I think, 100%. And we'll make sure that, I think it's the screw that goes through the distributor housing, may be intermittently shorting out against the distributor housing. So we knew there was issues in that distributor before. I thought I had corrected them before, but I think the reason it wouldn't start way back when on the episode that we aired in Thanksgiving of 2020, and then all of a sudden it did start, and we had several episodes in there where we were trying, was exactly within that distributor as I suspected. But it does start and run, it just doesn't keep running, it starts missing and so forth. And I really think, had this engine been running and that issue showed up, it would have run just like it is now. But because it hadn't been run for 75 years, it didn't have enough oomph to get it started because you had rings and just all kinds of other things going on. So it's actually good. This is probably going to be something that's going to come back in the future. So I want to get to the bottom of what it's doing. So when it does this again, because I suspect it might, we'll have 100% clarity on what has to be done to fix it. I mean, let's face it. It is the simplest engine in the world. It's nothing complicated. It's not hard to figure out. I just need to take time and focus on diagnosing exactly what that issue is and get it done. So good progress. We got the seats cleaned up. The rear pan's back in. We got the spare tire rim painted so we can get the tire mounted on that. New ignition wires are on. Coil's mounted under the dash where it belongs. So it's really good progress all around and good to go. So Dad's headed home. I got to head in and start making supper and we're going to call it a day. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're on Facebook and Instagram /MyCarShop. And one more thing. Wrap.